So in the yesterday's class, we have seen like how to work with the different HTML elements, the importance of HTML elements. I have uploaded all the documents into the drive. You can go to the Excel sheet that we discussed in the class. Okay, and we learned that HTML contains a different uh, what do you say terminologies like tag names, starting tag, ending tag, HTML content. Okay, and attributes and attributes value pairs, they generally come as key and value pairs. So based on these attributes, Selenium defined these methods in a class called by. So by is a predefined Selenium class which is giving the methods, so which will help us to locate the elements. So these are the different element locating mechanisms we discussed: by dot id, by dot name, by dot class name, by dot xpath, by dot css selector, like this. Okay, so these are common ways to locate any element. Okay, but which one to use, that is something tricky, that is something important as part of Selenium. So whether I need to use id, name, or class, that is what we have to learn over upcoming classes, maybe in next 1 or 2 weeks. So we can focus more how we are using this one. Or if id, name, class are not there, what is next option, like that. Okay, there are different ways. So our majority of thing, as I mentioned, so we can have in one resume, we can keep one important point saying good knowledge on locating mechanisms in Selenium. So that much weightage or that much importance it has, because in Selenium the main role is locating the elements. Okay, that's why we discussed yesterday on the those HTML elements. Okay, so I think we are using the Facebook application. So there is a link or link but displayed as a button. When I click this one, so you can see there are different elements. Okay, so if I go here, I can see this is, yeah, this is input element value. Where is value placeholder? Not showing. Okay, so I will show you one more. Anyway, I will take one more notepad and I will start adding the nodes. Today is, I think, 23 May. Okay, so let us see handling text box. Okay, so or if input field. So we know the tag name is input, and mandatory attributes are type equal to text. Okay, or type equals to password also we have seen. Okay, so these are the mandatory things we have seen. Now we know, so we can locate the element using common locating mechanisms, getting ways like id or name or class name or xpath, like this we can use. We cannot use css selector or sorry, not css selector, link text or partial link text, because they are specially only for links. But these things you can use css selector and all. These are the common ways to locate this element. Okay, so the after locating, see, these are the general behavior. So UI developer uses these things to define the text box on the UI. Okay, and we have some common locating mechanisms we have seen in Selenium. So these are the common used locating mechanisms. Okay, id or name or class or xpath or css selector. So after element is located, so what we have done, we can do few things like we can enter the value, that is a method. We have seen the send keys is a method. Okay, so after element is located, after this element is located using any one of these approaches. So either you can type the value or you can read existing value. Okay, I will show you how to do this. Or you can clear the current value from the text box. So these are the common operations we can do. Either you can enter a type, means you are entering a value into the text box. You can read the existing value. You can clear the current value also. Okay, so I will copy this one. I will copy the FB registration one, or I will extend FB registration one today. So as I mentioned, let's wait for these lines. If it is required, you can use it. Otherwise, don't use. You can ignore it. So I'm running yesterday's program. So where I am clicking this link, create new account, and going to the next page. Okay. So after I'm here, so I have a text box. So input is a text box. Okay, so the first name is a text box. So this is the HTML of that one. We need to inspect the element and get the details. So always you remember, if you want to know HTML properties, you have to inspect it. Right click and right click on the required element and say inspect. Right click on the desired element and say inspect. Or F12 key, use the selector, take the selector and click the required element. Okay, so this is my HTML of this first name field. Okay, so this is the HTML now. So we know how to locate this element, either ID, name, class name, such kind of things you can use. So class name you can hold for some time. So if it is single value, you can use it. Otherwise, you cannot use it. So here, if you see, class has three values: value one, value two, value three. This is called as compound class. So your by dot class name cannot handle compound class. Okay, I will show you the error first. Okay, if you are thinking why I'm not using, so what I will do, I will write driver dot find element. Okay, let us see, let's go the other way. So instead of class, what I will do, I'll take name equal to first name. So I'm going with the positive flow only. So name is something is there. Okay, so this will give an element on the page. So yesterday we discussed about find element method. Find element returns the first matching web element on the page. Okay, either you store in a element and do operation, or you can, using method chaining, you can write everything in one line. Okay, but for my requirement to explain few concepts, I am taking in different element. So that is first name. Okay, so here this is the element. Now different operations. Why this error? Why this error? I don't know. 1 second. Let me try. Why this error? Let me close it and open again. Okay, something is not visible earlier. Okay, that's why, no problem. So driver dot find element by dot name. Okay, this is the value of the name attribute. So this one I copied from HTML, not my own. Okay, so this is giving a web element. So I am taking web element uh, first name and storing here. Okay, so first name element I'm storing here. Now what I will do, we have seen already there is a method called, so to perform this operation, we have a method called send keys. I'm writing inside this one, not required. So first name element, if you want to input something, you can do here. Okay, so I can type the value. So I'm giving value as Isha. Now what I can do, if I want to clear it, you can clear. There is a method called clear. Okay, so that also we have seen yesterday, nothing new. So we have already seen these things on the first name field. Something is wrong, spelling is wrong. Okay, so on the first name field, if you want to clear the value, we can clear it. Or if you want to retrieve anything, I will be introducing one more method today. So that is get attribute. Get attribute. Okay, so the name of the attribute is value. Okay, so it is showing deprecated. Okay, I don't know. I am also realizing now. Get attribute is deprecated. Mhm. Is it so? Nice. Okay, so revert. deprecation notice. Removing deprecated. That's what I'm telling. So Selenium is a open source tool, and see mark a web element get attribute is deprecated in 4.27. That's why I don't know. Okay, so it's removed in 4.27. In that case, 4.32. In 3.3 again, it's coming back, I think. This is the problem actually. So we have to see that change logs. Okay, I don't know why they removed it. So it attribute reverting deprecation notice. Removing duplicate items required removing remote status, removing duplicate incident. Oh my, this is also big change. I need to extend script time.
Arjun, your
Page load
voice is
timeouts. Don't
breaking.
know. This is change. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it was breaking before.
Am I?
That's the reason.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, yeah. So I think get attribute is deprecated. Deprecated means they are not supporting that one. It's not available. Okay, that's okay. So actually, what it will do is, so it will give the attribute value. So they removed it. Okay, maybe DOM attribute is something they added. Mhm. Let me run this one and I'll explain. Okay, let me run this one. I'll explain this one. Why it is not clicked? Okay, it's executing, but DOM attribute is different, I think. Okay, DOM attribute is different, I think. Okay. I don't know why it is deprecated. Any reason? Okay, so DOM attribute is different. So irrespective of your changes, it should give the default value. I don't know why get attribute is deprecated, but originally get attribute gives um, the current value. Hmm. Let me come back to this one. So it is showing as a deprecated get attribute is deprecated. So whatever value you are giving, so that you can retrieve. So it is showing web element is deprecated. Don't worry about this one. Okay, so in that case, I will remove this reading existing value part, how to do and all. I'll come back. So yeah, in that case, we have already discussed type is a method which will give you the um, typing value. So sorry, send keys is a method you can perform after element is located. We can perform operations to type and clear. So the method we have seen is send keys to type the value and clear to clear the existing value. Not only this, for example, if I want to do find element, not find element, first name, right? First name dot get location is there. Okay, hopefully this is not removed. So we have one more method. So if you want to see location of this element on the page, so you can use this method get location. It gives a return type as a point p. So point means it's like xy coordinates. So if you see, so it is the return type is a point. So you can take that one. Okay. So if you want to know the location, you can still do this, or if you want to know x coordinate, you can write like this. Okay, if you want to know y coordinate, you can give like this. If you want to see both to be printed, so I can use directly the p, or if you want x and y coordinates, so you can use like this. So but this is already there. Point is another Selenium class. You no need to worry what is there inside this point class and all. Don't worry. Your get location is a element method which gives location of the element on the page. Okay, now if you run this one, you can observe the location is also printed. Okay. See, this is the value. So this is point xy coordinates, whereas only x, only y. If you want, you can still do this. Okay. So what I will do, let me add Selenium documentation. You are seeing the method return type, but this is not coming right. So let me add it quickly. Where to add is, so we have added a Selenium jar, right? So on the project where we added, so I want to add that this one. So we added here the properties, Java build path. So we added the jars, right? So here under this class path, we added all the jars. So there is a jar called Selenium Java. So this is the jar. Okay. So any other jars? I'm just checking. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to add Selenium Java jars. Selenium Java 3.2, let us say Java docs. So here I will give the URL. Okay, so URL is something here already. API docs. Copy this one. Copy this one. Okay. So I don't need to do API all the things. Index.html is not required, but let me try first. I will validate this is correct or not. Might be invalid. Okay, if I remove this one, this must have been found. Very good. Okay, I will say okay, apply and close. I'll open this one and see the help text, or I will restart my this one. Just a second. Because when I mouse over on that method, So it is showing that description, so that while practicing it will be helpful. Just a second, it's working. It's opening. Sorry, just to give a second. Okay. Let me see. This is correct only. Selenium project. You go to Java build path. There is a Selenium Java job. Jobs can be AC validated, and it is correct only. I will do for this one also. Source also. I think it is required. I don't know why it is. Registration. It should work actually. Why it is not working? 1 second. No, not this documentation. The other documentation URL should be correct only. Just a second. I'm trying to add other way. Selenium Java. Just a second, please. So now I'm depositing Selenium HQ. So they're still pointing to Selenium HQ. So what I will do, I'll give little differently. I'll go little different because they are giving still via Selenium HQ, right? To do artifact here. Test is also this one. I will give you 1 second. I'm looking for URL actually. As I mentioned, I won't remember. This is for Python. Oh, URL. Okay. API docs one. If I give 1 second, maybe I'll try for API. Selenium API. I'll paste here also. What is this? Why it coming like this? No. When I'm removing, it is saying it is found. Okay, I will add. Because generally we don't add that one. Yeah, very good. So you can see now why I added. You realize it, right? So I have the Java doc URL. Now you can see the description. Understood why I am what I am doing for last almost 5 minutes. So
No, can you do it? Explain how you get this.
How I did, I will explain. But what I am doing, are you able
Yeah,
to
can you
see?
explain what is the issue?
No, issue I'll tell you. Issue I'll tell you. But what I am doing, is it fine?
No.
So the methods, for example, if I mouse over println, so you can see the method, right? What is method return type? What is method parameter? What this method will do? The purpose of the method and the parameters. You can see everything, right? For println
Yeah.
method. So this is a description of the method. Whereas earlier, this is Java method. So by default, because of Java docs and because of Java JDK, so you can see these things. But for Selenium, earlier it is not showing this text and all. It was not showing what it will return, what is this method, description about method. This is not coming up earlier now before adding the jars, right?
Okay.
Now what I did, so I added this URL, online URL, okay, with that one of the jars that we added here. So if you remember, we added the jars in this path. So go to Java build path, add libraries. You have added all the jars, right? So to one of those jars, Java API jar is there. To that jar, Selenium API jar. So I added this documentation. There is a variable called Java doc URL. There I pasted the URL by removing that index.html. So I copied this URL and pasted there. This
So you
URL,
replaced it. You replaced what was there.
not replaced. It was empty. It was
It
empty.
was empty. Okay, okay, okay.
It was empty. It was empty. Nothing is there. Now I added. Then it was coming. It was empty like this. For example, when I open this one, it is empty, right? For this API, for this jar file. So open telemetry SDK trace. This one. So this is empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, for this also it is empty. I edited this one Java doc one, pasted the URL.
Okay.
That's it. So it will show the definition of the method. So if I mouse over, for example, find element method we are discussing. So now if I mouse over find element method, why it is not showing? Yeah, it will show. 1 second. Oh, what happened? 1 second. I'm not able to catch that. Okay. Neither has attached source, not attached doc. How come? Let me open again. Okay, find elements, find element. How come I attached it? I don't have separate URLs for everything. Under this only you will get everything Java doc or whatever. So this must be. If I go to classes, let's see. Okay. Okay. So OpenQA, Selenium Dev, Docs, API. I'll give this URL. I'll give this URL. I'm changing this time. I'm changing the URL because whatever I added, that API is not giving that for other elements. So I'm just trying with this. So yeah, let me validate it. Invalid.
Uh, I think you did not select the whole URL, Arjun.
No, not required. We have to remove that one. That
Okay.
appending that value, you need to remove.
Okay.
Let's not give, because if I take this one, it will give only web element data. It won't get the other classes or other interfaces data. If I give this one, it will give only for web elements.
Okay. Okay.
I need to validate. Let's say OpenQA. Well, here also it's not working. Okay, I'll check why it is not working. I'll check. It is saying elemental list file location is likely valid. Files elemental list and index HTML have been found. Open in browser. Yeah, it's working fine. It's coming here only. Here you have Selenium. You will have same web elements, everything. Okay. Yeah, I will check and let you know. Not sure what happened, but yeah, let's not waste our time. So basically it should give how, see, this is a get location method. It's giving clearly the definition of this method and all. I'm surprised, or I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. But find element it's not showing. I will check and get back to you guys. But remember what I am doing here is I'm trying to add documentation to Eclipse so that while you practice, you can see the help of the methods. Okay, so we'll quickly come back. So I will add the Java docs, and we'll see, maybe if I restart my Eclipse it will work. I'm not sure. So I'll get back to you later. Okay, so what I am doing, so our primary discussion is handling text boxes. We know the input is a tag name, type equal to text or type equal to password, basically the basic attribute value pairs, and these are mandatory. And we have other optional attributes also, like ID, name, class, and all optional. So we have these things: ID, name, class as optional attributes, and we can locate elements using these common methods: ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selector. After element is located, you can perform operations on the element, like typing or entering some input value or clearing the current value. I thought of explaining get attribute, but it is showing deprecated in latest version. I am using latest version for our class, but it was available in older version. So if you want to know the current value inside text box, we can use get attribute method. So it is saying it is deprecated. Okay, deprecated in, okay, 4.32.0 something. We have seen just now, right? So this is deprecated here. Deprecated means not supporting. Okay, reverting, deprecated. Yeah, it is supported. It is removed in 4.270. Okay, we will get back. We'll look into this one later. Hmm? So this is removed in this version. So we can see that later. That's okay. So these are the basic things I can perform operations on the text box. If I have 10 elements, so you need to repeat same. So you have to write find element multiple times. For example, I have one more element on the page, that is let's say I want surname field. So right click here, right click or go inspect, or F12 or select this element. So this is the data for surname or last name. So you can directly write it. Just for your understanding, I'm copying this one. So for input box, for last name I am talking about. So this is one more element. So you have to write find element again. I want to find the element by dot name or whatever is available, not on our own. This is something we can take the decision based on available data. If I want to use ID, it is not there. If I want to use ID, it is not there. I cannot use. So what is available? Name is available. So I am trying with the name. Okay, name attribute value is last name. Okay, so after this is identified, so we know what to do. We can enter the value. First let me store here web element last name or surname. We can enter the value that we know already. Last name dot send key is something testing, and last name dot get location something. I'm writing just the position. So this method is there already, which will give you the position. Or if you want to print everything in one line using method chaining, I can do everything in one line. Get location. Okay. Dot get x. It will give entire point. Okay. Or if you write a dot x something, if you write a only dot x, it will give only x value, x coordinate. If I write y, it will give only y coordinate. Otherwise, if I write get x, get x also should give only single number. Okay, get location should give direct value, not a problem. I no need to write further anyway. So if I run this one, you can see that it should print the xy locations for surname also. Okay, see it is clicked that one, of course. So it is entering the value. Okay, so before to that you can see. So this is the xy coordinates of first name. This is xy coordinate of last name. If you see, y is not changing. So y is position from top, vertical position. X is from left. So left to right x, from this to this x, and top to bottom y will increase. Okay. So 206 common, both are on same line. Vertically they are in same position, but horizontally from left side, so it is changing. Okay, like that. If you want, you can use it in your scenario. I'm not asking. So this is compulsory and all. Okay, so that's it. These are the operations we can perform. Any other method? Let me check quickly. Last name dot clear. We have seen click. We use it if it is not active element. Anything I should get CSS. CSS after some time I can discuss. After some time I can discuss. Get CSS, right? If I want to use CSS, type input logo plus. One second. I want to tell you one more thing. If possible, I can explain that concept also. So this is the input element. On this element, these are the styles applied. So CSS is related to beautification, cascading style sheets. So like HTML, CSS is one more language UI developer uses to define the size of the or that details of the element. For example, font size. If you want the other things, you cannot see visually. That's why I'm thinking. Okay, so let us say font size. So 15 pixels font size. So whatever you enter here, so that in fix 15 pixels size here. So what I will do, get CSS font size. So we will be discussing this one anyway later. So what I am doing here is, so I am introducing one more method called last name dot get CSS. We have not discussed, again I'm telling, but we can discuss this later. Get CSS is, CSS means cascade style sheets. Generally your developer uses the CSS selectors or CSS behavior to beautify the elements with the background color or foreground color, button color. So you see this color, right? Allow all cookies. So that color. Okay, so these things are taken care by UI developer with the help of CSS. See 15 pixels, whatever text I enter here. So that is of 15 pixels size. Okay, so that is one method. Get CSS selector is one method. So why what I am doing here is, why I am introducing these methods is to give you confidence that these methods are already there for you. These methods are already there for you. Okay, similarly, for example, I want to see the CSS of this element. So you can see this is a sign up. Okay, this is sign up button. It is with CSS of this one. So inline block content, the colors, background color is some RGBA, this one. So RGBA color, see what is this one. If I go to Google and paste this one, it will tell you. Oh my God. Some security thing is blocking me. Oh, that's asking. Okay. Okay. So I want RGBA. Okay. So try it yourself if I do. So this is the color. Now what I will do, I'll paste our element color. I will run it. Sorry, not a text color. Background color I need to change. Is it text color or background color? What is given here in our application? Background color, mouse over color. Okay, this is not a good example. Maybe this is not a good example. Okay, at least it's a font weight. For example, I'm changing my example. For example, this is in bold color. Okay, or what I will do, italic. I will enter italic. That I cannot change dynamically. Okay, I'll take another good example. So where I can change these things and I can show you. Okay. So background color. This one you can see. So this is the background color. Okay. So if you take this is a value. So whatever I used a method called get attribute, you have to write a background color. So inside this CSS selector attribute they used is background color. So accordingly it will print for you. But don't worry again about this one. So just to simplify, CSS selector is called as cascading style sheets. CSS stands for cascade style sheets. UI developer uses these CSS files to beautify the elements, to give background, foregrounds, text colors, element colors, those kind of things you want to define, borders and all to define. UI developer uses. If you want to retrieve, you can retrieve those things also. That's what simply I want to convey. So for now, what I'm doing here is I'm getting the CSS value font size. You can see in the output, it was printing the font size of the text that you are going to enter. Okay. So if you see the console, it is giving 15 pixels. So even we have seen the 15 pixels, that size defined by developer, whatever you are entering here is of size 15 pixels. Somewhere we have seen, where is that? See, this is the font size 15 pixels. Okay. So yeah, again, we will be seeing this method again. Don't worry. I'm just, my intention is to show any other methods that we can use here. Wait, submit. Sometimes we can try for buttons. Is selected, is displayed. Also, I will introduce later. Okay, this is pretty much enough. So let's quickly go to buttons. Let's quickly go to buttons, handling buttons. Okay. So how to handle buttons? What are the tag names of a button? What are the tag name is a button? What is tag name of a button? We have seen yesterday. What is tag name? Either input or button. So there are two tag names we have seen, and attributes we have seen. Type equal to submit, I think. Type equal to submit or type equal to click also sometimes. And the optional attributes is this ID name class. And after element is identified, so we have to locate them using the available common methods, whatever we discussed here. So using these common methods, we can locate this element. Okay. So after locating, what you will do after element is located, what are the operations we generally do? We can click the element. Okay. So we can click the button. So general operation we do is click button. For that we have a method called click in web element. That's it. Okay. So we have already done here. So if you go back to our program, so we are already clicking the element that all cookies one and clicking that one. So click is the method we used, and a link. Okay, link is different. Okay. So if you want to locate this one, same, inspect it. After inspecting, you can see HTML properties of this element. So this is sign up. So for this is button. The tag name is button. So just for your convenience, I'm copying here. So this is the button. So button type equal to submit. Okay. And class is something, name equal to web submit. Something is there. ID is also there. If you want, you can use it ID. For me, it is something sounding like some dynamic one because it is showing U0NF1. I don't know if I refresh, if I will get the same one or not. I don't know. So I'm doubting it is dynamic data. So what I am trying to show you is if I inspect, now you can see again. So this is a button. So I'll copy this one. What I was talking is your major role is to find the element uniquely. See, for example, ID. Can you all find the difference in ID attribute value? Yes or no? ID attribute value, can you observe? Can you observe here?
Yes.
What? So it is not fixed, right? So here the note we have to understand is ID attribute value is changing. So we cannot go with that. So sometimes don't think that, sorry, you told you have to use by.id equal to u0nf1. When I am running, it is not working. Yes, it is not working because it's dynamic. So sometimes wherever you see numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 0, you can suspect that, you can try to avoid it. So here if I write by.id, it will fail. You may say that you asked to go with ID. ID is given by developer. It's not working for me. No, you have to think these kind of things also. You cannot go with ID in this scenario, especially because for me it is appearing like something number is changing or dynamically generating value. So don't rely on that kind of things. But if you observe, name is there, which is fixed. So I can go with that. Okay. So I will write one more program quickly. Or okay, I will write here itself. So this time I want a button. So what is that button? I need to find it. So what I was talking is whatever you are choosing, so you should be careful. I am not going with ID because just now I realized from exploring the HTML that ID is dynamic. Don't go with that. So name is something I feel it is fine to use. So I can go with that name attribute value. You copy it from that attribute value. Web submit is the value given by your developer. So I can copy paste. I cannot say whatever I want, I can use it. No, we cannot use like that. Okay. So general operation we do is button. Okay. And there is one more method I thought of introducing with links. But if you see, this is ending tag, this is starting tag. You all know, right? As part of HTML yesterday we discussed. So these are the different elements. So in HTML, so start tag, end tag, in between content that is visible on the front end. So within the start tag, you will have key value pairs like this: type, class, its value, name, value, ID, value, like this your developer will give. So what we discussed is, we have a start tag, we have a content or visible text, and we have ending tag. Okay. So this is how it works, and attributes are given like this: attribute 1 equal to some value, and attribute 2 possible and its value. So like this UI developer gives the information. If you want to retrieve this one, this content or visible text, if you want to retrieve, okay, how to do is, I thought of introducing with links, but I can still try now with the buttons because it is between the start tag and end tag. The method is get text. Okay, so the method is get text. It will give you the text of that element. So let me show you that. Because UI developer is giving between start tag and end tag. Okay, anyway, when I do pagination, I am getting this error. Okay, but here by this time I'm getting error because element click is not working because it's overlapping. You understood, right? When every page, when I'm navigating, Microsoft Edge is controlled by automated test software. That's why it's giving. So again, this pop-up came. Anyway, it's good to have the exception. There is exception called element click intercepted. So please observe this one. Please observe this one. This is also very important thing that we are going to discuss in future classes. Whatever, as I mentioned, whatever errors you are getting, so everything is important. So I'm getting error because when I'm trying to interact with that element, see what I have written, I want to click this one, but what happened when I try to click, I got one pop-up which is blocking me, okay. So that is not allowing me to do. That's why I've got error saying element click intercepted exception. Okay, so no problem. This example, no problem. What you can do, first of all, why this is a problem for me? Let me see. Firefox. So I'll check whether it is problem for all browsers. So Firefox, if you want, you can use your code on any program. That's fine because it is HTML does not changes from browser to browser. Update available. I will see what is that update about Firefox. I'm checking what is new update to 127. Sometimes if it is 135, let us say, they may not give 119 to 137. Intermittently you have to update from 119 to 127, again from 127 to 135, like that. So there no direct jump. Okay, so that is also one thing I observed. So I'm just thinking if I want to use for Firefox to avoid those errors, or if I want, I can try for Chrome also, cross browser testing. Chrome I used. I'll sort out everything this weekend. I'll sort out what is this challenges. Just to want to simplify. New Chrome driver and rest of the code you no need to change because they are implemented from same parent, that is interface, WebDriver interface. So don't worry. So this time I'm doing with Chrome. Let me try. See, Chrome is opened, Firefox, this is came. After 5 seconds, it is handled. Again, it is coming. Every page it's coming because of cookies. Okay, so let it be. Let it be. You will still get the same error element and not error. Okay, I'll see this one later. But before to that, I want to talk about one more thing. If I come back here, for example, we are clicking something here. Let me close this one. So what I was trying to tell you is here you are clicking this link which is showing or which is applied styles as a button. So this link class is there. Let me copy our HTML and I want to show one error basically. Okay, so that is called as a compound class. So if you see in our program, I am clicking link with the text equal to create an account. So instead of that, what I am trying to do here is, so I'm trying to use find element by dot class name because class name is also given by developer. So here I want to explain one error. That's why I'm writing like this. So when I copied this one, I realized the class is there. So I'm copy pasting this one. I'm copy pasting and I'm trying to click. You will get one error. You will get one error. Let us see what is that error. Today I'm talking all errors. So don't worry about that because you should know these errors because real time you will get all these things. So you will get one error, invalid selector exception. See the read this one. So I'm getting one error saying invalid selector exception, compound class names not permitted. Okay. So I got this exception when I'm using when I change it from link text to this one. Okay. So what is compound class is? Okay. Compound class names are not permitted. What is compound class? I'll explain. So this is also something you have to tell. Okay, so if I write a class equal to one value, let's say ABCD. So this is simple class. Okay, or if I write class equal to ABCD and EFGH, this is compound class. If you have more than one value inside these double quotes, so that is called as compound classes. So though they developed a method called class name, by dot class name, so it won't handle. By dot class name handles this one. So this is a simple one. Your by dot class name method handles this one, but by dot class name does not handle this one and this one. So these are all things that you will come to know when you are working real time. Okay, so compound class name. Okay, this is compound class. So this is compound class. This is also compound class. So what we learned is, okay, so Selenium class name method. Okay, this method does not support compound classes. Does not support compound classes. Okay, so please note all these things because in interview I have the habit of asking these questions because if I want to know real time whether you are working or not, I will ask some challenges. So if you are working every day, you will get different challenges every day. So that's the reason. If you are working in real time, so you will get these kind of errors. Don't worry because of these errors, but there is a lot to learn. So if a class attribute given by UI developer as single value, that is simple class. So Selenium handles it. Okay, simple class. If it is more than one value compound class, so you may question that class name method given by Selenium, but I am trying with ABCDFG, it won't work because if you observe there is a space, that means this is value 1, this is value 2. It's a compound class. It is developed with two classes. Okay, so again this is related to CSS selector. When we are discussing about CSS selector, I will tell you. but compound classes not handled in Selenium. So you may question me that, sir, you can copy paste the value from HTML. I did same for class, but it's not working. Why not working? This is the reason. Is this clear? Is this clear about compound classes? What I am talking, is it clear?
Yes. So I'm sorry. This class name, then where we will use?
Same. By how we are using by dot ID name class and all. So while locating, see, simple, while locating, it is not a guarantee or it's not a rule. You always use ID or you always use name, you always use class name. There is no rule.
Hmm.
Based on the HTML information available when you are inspecting the HTML element, you have to choose from the available information. So name is there, you can try with name. ID is there, you can try with ID. But I told you ID is sounding like not every time. In this example, for me, ID is sounding like a dynamic thing. So don't, you may get error. Understood?
Yeah.
So
So
I
this
tried with the
class
name,
name only supports if there is a single value.
single value. That is called a simple
Hmm.
class.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I'm not sure whether how many real-time people also aware of this one. I'm not sure. The problem what happens is if class name is not working, they will say I don't know why class name is not working. I'll go with some other thing. So like that they will skip. But the actual reason behind this one is class name, simple class, compound class, two concepts are there. Okay, that is not our issue. That is HTML issue. So in HTML only there is a compound class concept in HTML. So if you go to this one, you can realize that one. So if you go to W3 schools is the best example to learn HTML. So anyone to learn HTML, go to W3 schools. Okay, so even developers, real-time people also refer this one. So you can see class is an attribute. So class is a attribute is often used to point a class name in style sheets. So I told you, right, it is related to CSS styles. We are going to discuss later. But anyway, so if you want to start using, you can start using, but you may get error because of this concept called compound class. Okay, where is that syntax for class? Multiple classes. Yeah. So compound class HTML elements can belong to more than one class. So to define multiple classes, separate the class name with space. Can you see this one? I'm telling UI developer point of view. We are not defining. UI developer, if UI developer wants to define multiple classes, separate the class name with spaces. So if you see, this is a division element class city space main. So they are combining two styles here. They are combining two styles. Okay, so that is called as compound class. Is it clear what is compound class? What is multiple classes or compound class? Is it clear?
Yes.
But when you are trying to use class name, so we have ID attribute, I have by dot ID method, name attribute, by dot name method. I have class attribute, by dot class name. So if you are thinking to use class name, it may not work. You may get error because of compound class. This is one class. This is class two. Every time observe there is space. Class three, class four, class five, class six, like this. This is a combination of 7 or 8 classes. That is possible. Okay, so whenever, only my caution or my alert is, if you are using compound classes, you may get error saying compound classes are not supported. So then you have to realize that, okay, so this is more than one class involved. Don't use this by dot class name for this element, not for every element. For that particular element, you cannot use that one because compound class names are not permitted or not supported by Selenium. Okay, so I'll stop here on interest of time.
So can you share
Let
the link of the Java doc in the chat?
Yeah, Java doc, I will correct it and I will share. Anyway, I will add in the notepad. I will attach here. It's not working, right? I'll quickly check why it is not working. I'll restart my Eclipse or somehow. So I will check and give that adding that data also, that how to add Java docs also. I will let you know. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll add that. I'm stopping recorded session. So any